Yo, so what's up? It's the Blastmaster Krs-One. And of course, I am in EVEREST Studio, sitting here with the V-Man, right here, Vincent in the place. And of course, this is a documentation of an album that we was working on called Now Hear This. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even going to record this album at this particular time. I had all the material, I had the music pieces, the written stuff, some ideas, but it wasn't until I walked into a supermarket, which I call Akchong, but it's called Achon, I think it is, here in Paris, on the outskirts of Paris, France. And so I walk in and I run into Samuel, and we start talking. He says, yo, I'm a photographer. I shoot these ill pictures. A few more conversations led to, well, I'm doing an album in the studio. He was like, yo, studio? I know a place right up the block that's hot. And of course, when he said that, in my mind, I was like, well, if anything, it'll be, somebody's house, or sometimes you go to people's house, they have a nice little setup in the garage, nice little basement. That's what I thought it would be. So the next day we said, well, we'll just go check it out. So I went over, me, Prime, G. Simone, we came over to check it out. And lo and behold, the G series came right out on us right here. And why would it be the G series, the board that I actually learned to mix on, learn to track, record, everything. Criminal Minded, By All Means Necessary, Ghetto Music, Edutainment, all that was done on this board right here. And not this particular board, but in Power Play Studio in Long Island City, Queens. Those that will remember that famous studio will remember this board as well. So I walk in here, and the board is right here. This was excellent. Absolutely excellent. You walk in, and then we started to get to work, and it was, basically Vincent, Kadar, myself, and Predator Prime basically put the project together. Basically put the project together, from performance to cutting, mixing, and scratching, to recording, to mixing. And that's where we are right now, mixing. So now we at the end of the project real quick, and here we are. Big up to Pierre as well. Can't shout out on that level. But here we are. Vincent, of course, laid us down, and the sound was wonderful. I'm only giving the shout out because it's real, that this was a wonderful time at EVEREST Studio. You did your thing.
Thanks a lot, man.
You did your thing. And he did do his thing. And this is what it was all about, was putting forward a professional effort in a small amount of time. They say that you don't know if you're really good at what you do unless you're under pressure when you're doing it, unless it's something that drops in your lap and you're like, oh, what do I do with this? Well, you get busy with it. Start turning knobs and getting things going. And of course, as you could hear the project, you can see it was done right here, is blazing. About 8 of the 12 tracks that I originally walked in here with to do, about 8 of them were done right here. And we're gonna keep those, and so on. So anybody out there, if you're really trying to check out a real hot studio, and this is not just some sort of commercial for the studio, real talk, out on the outskirts of Paris, France, there's a nice studio called EVEREST. It's blazing hot, nice vocal booth, nice equipment, board. People know what they're doing here, and you get projects done quickly. Not a lot of waiting, not a lot of, system failure and this kind of thing. Things are done very quick, very precise, and it's wonderful like that. So that's my plug for this studio, EVEREST. Oh, let me add one more thing too. So as I'm mixing the album, mixing the record, there's a quality of sound. We're looking for that boom bap. Y'all know what that is. I ain't got to sit here and tell you what the boom bap is. The boom bap is hard to get out of certain studios without compromising some sort of technical savvy or technical professionalism. This wasn't the case here. We squeezed the boom bap out of these speakers. In fact, it would have we could have used an extra week. We could have used an extra week, but I'm in between tours. I gotta leave, running down to Lyon, France, to hit that up real quick, and then we're off to Romania, and then off to England, and then back to the United States. So we had our time here, and it was a wonderful time. I wish I could stay longer and get a few more things accomplished while we're here, but this is it, and this is what it is. So big up to Everest Studios. Big up to Vincent Lebret and everybody in here that made it pop, no doubt. KRS in the building. Now here it is.